What did
Notice how the judge is quietly collecting every detail before dropping a legal hammer? This is the probable cause dance, and judges do not play when they think officers overreached.
he do? How did he interfere with anything? I didn't hear anything. Hispanic on Hispanic injustice or what? He's walking while Hispanic or what? No. Mr. Sosa, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On April 9, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched with a call for a suspicious person. The witness stated there was a Hispanic male in the back of the business causing a disturbance. The witness stated that the male was intoxicated and threatened an employee. The officer went to the back and noticed the male arguing with several people. The officer gave several verbal commands for the defendant to stop. The officer told the defendant he was going to be detained for safety, and the defendant continued to walk away and stated, "It's always the Hispanic."
And here comes the judge's trademark life advice monologue. Every judge has one, somewhere between a TED Talk and a warning label. But hey, at least he's honest about alcohol turning some folks into Marvel villains.
Trying to get this back. The defendant refused all verbal orders given to him, and the officer retained the defendant and notified him by the driver's The officer noticed that while detaining the defendant, the defendant continued to say why for your brother.
What did he do? How did he?
Big shift in tone here. Suddenly we're in a full-on character study. The judge is weighing her life story like it's a balance sheet. Responsibility versus risk. And trust me, failure to identify is rarely the real issue. Judges look at the pattern.
Interfere with anything? I didn't hear anything. Hispanic on Hispanic injustice or what?
Additionally, Judge, do we know that this was being told to him in Spanish? He's clearly not English.
You're losing?
Your Honor, the only thing I have is that the officer was continued to walk away.
He's walking while Hispanic or what? No. I'm going to find no probable cause.
And there it is, the identity reveal twist. This is basically the courtroom version of plot twist. That's not who she said she was. Legally speaking, giving a false name escalates things fast. Officers are trained to treat it like a red flag the size of Texas.
All right, sir. There are people, when they drink, they become very happy. They are the life of the party. And there are people who, when they consume alcohol, they become the devil incarnate. If this is you, it's probably not a good idea to drink. Now, I'm finding no probable cause in your case, but be careful. You know, we have enough violence in this place as it is. All right? Please. Take a seat for me. Okay, so Miss Gibbs, the reason I'm bringing you out now is that your lawyer is asking for me to give you a PR bond on your failure to identify oneself. I don't know, you know, I have to look at what's going on in your life to see, should we give you a PR bond? Are you a danger to the community? I mean,
Not at all, sir. Not at all. I'm a college graduate. I've got 4 kids I need to take care of. I have a job. I have a vehicle. I have no problem getting to court at all. Like the last 2 court dates that I had with my felony, I had a miscarriage and I was in the hospital, and they're aware of that.
Everybody tells me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods.
That's the only thing it was. I had a for real miscarriage.
I get it, but you're on bond for a felony endangering a child.
Mm-hmm.
You've picked up 2 fraudulent uses, and now, after those 3 cases, you've now picked up a 4th case of failure to identify oneself. So
They were all in this.
Stop.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. I just want to know what's going on to see whether we should give you a PR bond, because this is not a revolving door, you know?
I understand that.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So we're going to do...
Pause. 25 pieces of other people's identifying information? That's not oops, wrong purse. That's seasoned fraud energy. And judges do not hand out PR bonds like candy when someone is collecting charges like Pokemon cards.
Probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay, please.
Thank you. On April 2nd, 2025, the officer was monitoring a neighborhood police radio broadcast. The officer heard a broadcast call for a theft of a department store off of East Sam Houston Parkway in Harris County, Texas. The caller gave a description of the defendant and explained the defendant had just left the store. The officer arrived in the area and found the defendant as she was described by the caller, along with a male individual with the defendant. The officer observed the defendant and the individual enter into a motor vehicle and exit the parking lot. The officer observed the motor vehicle have no front license plate and expired registration. The officer conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant. And the defendant identified themselves as Kathleen O'Brien, date of birth, May 24th, 1982. The defendant stated she did not have any ID card on her person. The officer looked up the defendant by the name and date of birth on the public safety photo, and they did not resemble the defendant. The officer asked for the name and date of birth of the defendant once again, and the defendant gave the same name and date of birth. Due to the photograph not matching, the officer attempted to confirm the defendant's name and date of birth with the mobile FIS. That returned the actual identity of the defendant as Candace Lynn Gibbs, date of birth July 16, 1981. Along with a Harris County Sheriff's Office mugshot of the defendant that matched the driver of the vehicle.
So they didn't charge her with a theft?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Or they did not.
So what's going on with the 2 fraud cases that she has that shows like no bond?
Not sure.
You know anything about those cases, Lori?
No, sir. I know that she went to court on the 15th, 14th?
15th, yes,
On
ma'am.
the 15th I received an email from her felony attorney stating that this was the only case that was holding her in and to see if I could move her up to get her out.
She said something that they weren't filed or they weren't, or something hadn't been done where.
Yeah, she said they weren't filed yet.
They're filed. I guess the judge just hasn't signed it yet.
Your Honor, it looks like there was a plea offer made originally for the endangerment of a child. And that plea offer has been made.
This is the courtroom equivalent of the judge saying, "Look, I tried, I really did, but we've reached the limit." Judges are legally allowed to consider patterns, and this pattern, yeah, it's not trending well.
Now on the fraudulent use case, that was just, I believe, discussed between the felony prosecutor and the defense attorney.
In this case, Lori, in the fraudulent use case, in her clutch, as they pull them over, she has the identifying credit cards, debit cards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 different items of other people's identifying information. You are on bond for endangering a child. You pick up 2 fraudulent use cases and now allegedly at a store doing whatever with a failure to ID. I'm not going to sit here and give you yet another PR bond. You know, at some point we have to say when, and now is that time. Your bond, literally $50 to get you out, right?